You are listening to Three Kitchens podcast, hosted by Heather Dyer and Aaron Walker. To find our complete catalog of episodes, check out any of your favorite podcast players.
Or our website, threekitchenspodcast.com.
Okay, well, hello and welcome to Three Kitchens podcast. My name is Aaron Walker, and I am joined by Heather Dyer.
Hello, Aaron. Here we are, ready to eat. Well, I'm ready to eat.
Yes, and I'm cooking, so that's why Heather's got her hungry on, right?
That's why I'm excited. I hope the lawnmower in my neighborhood is not too loud.
All these people outside enjoying the spring weather. Come on.
Come on, what are you doing?
Everywhere we drive by and someone's cutting the lawn, my kids are like, slow down so I can smell the cut grass. I'm like, putting the window up. Well, I'm going to take you on a journey to the Philippines today.
Ooh.
I'm going to make chicken adobo, which is the unofficial national dish of the Philippines, according to Wikipedia. And I was like, well, I'm not just going to take that from Wikipedia, but a lot of Filipino bloggers and stuff also agree with this idea of it being their unofficial national dish.
Okay.
And so it is a way of cooking food in vinegar and salt in order to preserve it so it doesn't have to be refrigerated. So it's almost like a preservation technique. And so when you hear about Filipino adobos, because there's like pork adobo and shrimp adobo and chicken adobo, it all just has to do with cooking it in vinegar and salt for preserving.
Interesting.
And it has another name. Don't know what that is. Spent a lot of time going in circles and was like, I'm not really sure if I'm getting anywhere. So the name adobo actually comes from the Spanish colonization of the Philippines. And apparently adobo just means a marinade.
Oh,
When something is cooked, when something is marinated before it's cooked, the Spanish call it adobo. So we recently had, what did we have? Those refried beans. And you had chilies
in adobo.
Chilies in adobo.
Yeah.
Adobo means marinade.
Oh, well, it makes sense.
Yay! I'm so happy there's like some sort of
right?
consistency. And the consistency is Spanish colonialism. Yay!
Yay for Spanish colonialism.
So there are a whole bunch of different variations on this that came in as different vegetables, fruits, spices, and all that kind of stuff came into the Philippines during the colonization period. But beforehand, it's all just about having a salty, sour, and sweet chicken. There is some spices, but it's really not complicated. And so it's this process of slow cooking the chicken in a vinegar marinade, a salty, vinegary marinade. And you can vary the vinegar that you use in there, sort of depending on what your preferences are. And there's a whole bunch of different vinegars that they spoke about in a bunch of these recipes that I was like, did you know there's cane vinegar?
No.
Like a sugar cane vinegar, I'm assuming. And like all these different types of vinegars that I was like, well, this sounds really exciting because I don't know, different vinegars with different flavors add so much. And so that's really the thing that can make it very different between regions and very different between households is like what your magic vinegar mix is that you cook it in.
You could even make your own.
Well, this is the thing. I will bet dollars to donuts here that people were making their own vinegars, and that's what they used to cook their chicken in, to preserve it, because this was something they could journey with. This is something that they could keep their chicken for a long time with because it had been cooked and preserved in a way that it didn't need to be refrigerated.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, very interesting. I have some thoughts about possibly playing around with a little bit of the vinegar. I don't know if I'm going to seek out anything extra special, but there is some recommendations of using rice vinegar in addition to like a white vinegar. So maybe I'll try that. I'm not going to make any vinegar.
Hmm.
That's not on my process at all.
Well, I would think it would just be a matter of like, kind of like when we made the shrub, the
Mm,
drinking vinegar, putting something in the vinegar, letting it sit for over there for a while, a few days, and then seeing
yeah.
if it changes the flavor. Like when you put chive blossoms or
Oh,
nasturtiums, or like those are the kinds of things that I've done in the past. And then I use that vinegar for like salad dressing.
oh,
Easy
chive
though, right?
blossoms
Something
would be
simple and you
so
just set it
good
aside.
with this
Yeah, that's what I
because
was
you would
thinking. It gives it
serve
that.
green onions often with this. Oh,
Yeah.
only I still had chives.
Right out there in that garden. There's some
They
out there.
bloomin' yet?
Hang on.
Oh, oh, status update.
They are starting to bloom. Yes.
Oh,
If you want, you
I'll
certainly.
be marinating this tonight. So
Ah, wow, a
unless
little late.
you can press fast forward on that blooming, that's a
No.
really good idea.
Mm.
I like that. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. I was more just thinking like a rice wine or a rice vinegar would be good in there.
Hmm.
It's got soy sauce in it, and dried basil leaves,
Mm.
garlic, some salt, sugar, peppercorns, and slow cook it.
Mm.
So,
Cool. Can't wait.
yeah.
I've never had it. I've only ever had the adobo that was those chilies in adobo.
Well, yeah. So this is kind of an interesting. I'm looking forward to going down this because I've heard about it a lot. And we did do that episode a little while back where we were cooking with the ube halaya, which
Hmm.
is ube is a Filipino dessert. Yum yum.
Mm.
And a
Hmm.
staple there. What do they call it? Filipino Nutella or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love that stuff. And so I
Mm.
thought I would like to try something else from the Philippines because I don't know much about the food and the culture there. Although, I'm always reading books and learning new things and finding out where they are on the map.
Hmm. Nice.
So why not
Right over
explore with some food? Yeah,
there.
right there.
There.
Again, nothing here that we haven't seen before. Ingredients that I would say the majority of us have access to.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm very interested to see how this sour flavor really plays into this.
Yeah, like do you taste the vinegar
It
in the
sounds
end?
like they really want you to.
Yeah. It
It's,
seems like a key flavor
yeah,
component, so I'm really curious.
yeah. And through some of my reading, that vinegar sour flavor is something that highlights Filipino food. So,
Mm,
like, that's
okay.
like they really like these vinegar sour foods when it
Hmm,
comes to their savory palate. It's something that really defines their cooking. So I read. So
cool.
I've got a
And then
recipe.
you tell me all about it, and that's how I learn by
There you
listening to
go.
you. And our listeners will now learn.
Gosh, I hope I've got it right because, don't come at me if I did make a mistake. Just
Oh,
educate me.
they
I'm
never do.
open. I'm always
What,
open.
whether we're wrong or right, nobody ever tells us either way. It's
No,
like you
so we
can,
just keep talking. So, I
you
mean, this
can,
is your fault, listeners.
you can tell us what we got wrong. Just come on, join us on the socials,
Yeah.
send us an email, whatever. Tell us how
Yeah.
we got it wrong. It's fine. Tell us how we mispronounce every
I was
word.
going to
It's
say,
okay.
tell us about our pronunciation and tell us about our fact checking.
We can take it. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Well, I look forward to it.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it a try. have some
Yum.
fun with food from somewhere else.
Yeah. Love it.
I am really happy about this chicken adobo
Mm.
recipe. Um, but there are some modifications I will make to it in the future, and I have made to the recipe. So all of that will be up on the website. So when you want to make this, you know where to find it.
I
All
sure
right.
do. I will definitely be making it.
Oh,
Mm.
good. So, okay, so I started out with one, two, three, 8 pieces of bone-in, skin-on chicken. And I believe I had all 8 of them were chicken thighs, but you could do this with a mixture of legs and thighs, kind of depending on what your chicken supply looks like. I would not recommend this for doing with breasts. You want something with that fat on there because that's going to keep your chicken yummy and delicious and add all that flavor. So that would be recommended note number 1 from me. But the day before, what I did was I took my chicken and in one of my glass Tupperware containers, I mixed together uh, bay leaves, soy sauce, um, some white vinegar, some rice vinegar, and garlic. And then popped my chicken into that marinade and popped it into the fridge, and it sat overnight. Quick, easy. You could also do this if you're getting big packs of chicken home from the grocery store that you're going to save in the freezer. You can make this marinade, put it into your bag, put your chicken in, and toss it into the freezer, and then it's already marinated for you and ready to go, right?
Oh.
So if you want to
Does
go that way, you can, because then as it thaws, just make sure you're keeping this marinade because you're going to cook with it. Like just over a quarter cup of liquid.
oh,
So it's not a ton of marinade that you're putting in. Okay, that's for the 4-person size. So if
so
you're going to
like
do
double
this
that.
so if you've doubled that to make your 8-person, but again, like freezing 8 pieces of chicken in a bag doesn't make much sense. So if you're freezing it in like a smaller pack, like generally we eat 4 to 6 pieces, make that
Hmm.
quarter plus 2 tablespoons cup of marinade, pop it into the freezer. You're good to go. Okay.
Yeah, it really isn't much.
No, it's a very small amount. So it's just gonna sit in that overnight or in your freezer, however you like to do it. And then when you are ready to cook this, in my cast iron pan, what I did was just heated up some olive oil, get it nice and piping hot, and then take out your marinated chicken, put it skin side down in the pan, and let it really fry up until it's nice and crispy so that your skin maintains some of that crispy texture after you've cooked it. So I think that took about 3 minutes per side. And so then flip it and let the bottom sear again. And then take out your chicken, pop in your marinade plus water and sugar and peppercorns
Hmm.
into your pan. You can deglaze the bottom of your pan, get it boiling, all that kind of good stuff. And then put your chicken pieces back in. Um, I like to finish off cooking the chicken when I braise it by putting it into a hot oven. So I usually have my oven heated up to about 400 and pop my chicken in there. It cooks for another 40 minutes, more or less, and you're done.
Mm.
It's really just like a classic braise on chicken using these flavors. And serve it with coconut rice, is what I did. Because I was like, you know what? I've never made coconut rice before, and I feel like I know. I know.
You haven't?
No, I've never put coconut milk in my
Oh,
rice. I'm such a I don't know what to call myself, but I've never done it before.
what to call yourself?
I don't know.
You're just someone who's never made coconut rice,
I'm
that's
just
all.
I'm just that non-coconut rice person.
There's no name for that. My God,
Okay.
just a second here.
It's okay. Your cat needs
He is so loud. I'm just gonna
he's
open the door. Oh, now the dog's howling.
Oh, hi guys. Oh, I love your pets so much. All right, so while your chicken is cooking, make up some coconut rice. So I did a cup and a half of basmati rice. Um, I rinsed it 3 times and then let it soak for 20 minutes. And then I drained it and added 400 mils or 1 can of coconut milk and 400 mils of cold water, a couple tablespoons of butter, and a pinch of salt. Bring it to a boil, boil it covered for 10 minutes, then turn off the heat, keep the lid on for 10 minutes, and you will have fluffy, delicious rice and coconut
Mm.
rice for the win. Because I
Now
don't know
that you've made
why,
it, you're gonna make it all the time because
pretty
it's so
much.
yummy. Yeah.
This chicken and this rice.
Well, you had a sauce with it though.
Oh, well, the sauce is just the marinade that you've cooked it in. So I just kind
Really?
of, yeah,
Oh.
all I
Oh.
did was just scoop up that marinade and I put it into a little container for you so you could add more once you heated it up, or if you wanted to
Ooh.
heat it up in that, because we all really liked the marinade. So we went back to the stove after we took a couple bites and everyone put more marinade on top of their chicken and rice because it was
Oh yeah.
delicious.
I poured all that right over. Well, I tasted the chicken first, and then I was like, okay, pour it all over.
Yeah. The other thing
So,
with, oh, go
all
ahead.
right. So it was uncovered in the oven.
In mine, yeah, uncovered
Okay.
in the oven.
Okay.
And I feel like that also lends to the chicken skin being just a little bit crispier when it comes out too. I felt like this was just a little bit too soupy.
Hmm.
Meh. Not
Yeah. I
the chicken
feel
skin
like,
didn't have the texture that I like when I do.
yeah.
Yeah, and the guideline that I use for myself personally is that your braising liquid should come up like halfway up your meat. So like even if I'm doing a pot roast, like I'm
Mm.
not really putting all my liquid all the way up if I'm doing a pot roast and I'm doing a braise on it, right? Like it's not totally submerged. So in a cast iron pan, this works really good with your chicken pieces. So what do you think
Ah,
about the sour taste? Did you or what did you think of the flavor in this?
I didn't think it was especially sour. I actually thought it was sweeter than I was expecting. When we were talking vinegar, I did expect, well, I didn't know what to expect exactly, I guess, but I would have thought it might be a little more sour. It actually, I didn't think it really was. Did you?
Yeah, I feel like the sour taste that they talk about, I think it's like a vinegar taste, but it's not sour.
No, it's not.
I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it's got the flavors of the vinegar, but it's not necessarily very sour. And maybe that's more what we're going for.
Yeah, I think there is, and even when we talk about sour in terms of vinegar, it's like if you take a like vinegar straight out of the bottle and taste it, it's like I don't know if that's
Ugh.
sour or if it's just like a I don't know how you
Yeah,
describe that. It's got that bite to it, but when you cook
true
it,
enough.
it mellows it out. So you still have, I think, what is the essential, like that kind of flavor of
Hmm.
vinegar, but it doesn't have that bite to it because it's been cooked and it mellows it out. So maybe that's just what vinegar would taste like if you didn't have the
Yeah,
shock of the, whatever you call that. I don't know.
right. The intensity of it when
Yeah.
it's in that raw form.
And I warmed it up and then I was like, I had a little taste of the chicken and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And then I had the sauce and I was like, oh my God, it got even better. Like you need in my opinion, just put that sauce over all of it.
Hmm.
Just, oh, I loved it so much. And to me, I thought it was cooked perfectly. And I liked the way the skin turned out. I guess maybe because when I reheated it, maybe it
Oh, maybe.
crisped it up just a little bit more or something. I don't know. I thought it was quite good.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah, I feel like all the things in this recipe are so easy to find. They're things that I think most of us have in our cabinets, some vinegar, some soy sauce, salt, pepper, garlic, bay leaves. It's all stuff that we're familiar with, and we've
Hmm.
just discovered, for me, I know it's not a discovery for the Filipino people or most of the people out there.
Yeah.
There's this new way to put it together in a way that just like changes that flavor so much. And yeah.
Hmm. I can't wait to try it. Do they use this same vinegar marinade approach with other proteins?
So there's a variety of vinegar marinades that seem very typical in Filipino cooking. So,
Mhm.
like pork adobo or beef adobo apparently are very similar. And like this whole using vinegar to preserve raw things seems quite common too. From what I understand, it's once it's cooked, then you can have it for longer because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
mentioned they would cook these batches of meat, and then it's popular for when they had to travel or go someplace they could pack it with them.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Oh, I can't wait to make it.
now for the fine print. Links to recipes and other things we talked about in this episode can be found in the show notes or on our website, www.threekitchenspodcast.com. Come say hello on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok. We'd love to connect. And if you enjoy the show, pass it on. Word of mouth is the #1 way people learn about new podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.